Whenever you're ready, President Martin.
Okay. I see by the clock on the wall, it's the 3 o'clock, so I will call to order the Board of Directors regular board meeting for Monday, April 18th, 2022. Could I have a roll call, please?
Director Grasha,
Here.
Director Sewell,
Here.
Director Duncan,
Here.
Vice President Wright,
Here.
President Martin.
Here.
Thank you. We have quorum.
Okay. Would you all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? Place your hand over your heart and recite the following. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Nancy, do you have any?
We ask the Heavenly Father, in thy infinite wisdom to guide the members of this board in such a way that all their thoughts, endeavors, and decisions were made for the betterment of the entire community. We also beseech thee to protect our country and our people from all conflicts, foreign and domestic.
Amen.
And a special shout out in sympathy to the people of the Ukraine who are suffering war crimes on the part of the Russian
Amen.
leadership. Counselor, go over the rules of procedure.
Yes, according to the rules of procedure adopted by the Board of Directors, all notice meetings are conducted using Rosenberg's Rules of Order as a procedural guideline. Directors should refrain from responding directly to public comments at meetings of the board. The president is responsible for the maintenance of order and decorum at all board meetings. No person should be allowed to speak who has not first been recognized by the president. No member of the board should speak more than once upon any one subject until every other member of the board wishing to speak on the subject shall have been given an opportunity to speak. No board member shall interfere with the orderly progress of a board meeting. The board president regulates the amount of time to be dedicated to a particular agenda item.
Thank you. Public input. This is the opportunity for members of the public to address the board on matters within the board's jurisdiction. Please limit comments to 3 minutes or less. State law prohibits the board from discussing or taking action on any item not listed on the agenda. Do we have any members of the public wishing to speak today?
I'm not quite sure. Give me one moment. I think that's Pamela Edmondson on the line. Hi, Pam. Are you here to observe or make public comment?
I'd like to ask a very quick question if I could.
Go ahead, Pamela. You have 3 minutes.
Hi, this is Pamela Edmondson. I'm probably going to get myself in trouble by asking this question, but they're doing a whole lot of new building. Is there ample sewage space for this building? Because in our community, we already have sewers, so the builder is probably putting in the sewage. But this kind of goes back to the man, too, who had septic tanks a couple of weeks ago, and we see them opening up and building all of this other, new buildings and things going in. So that's my question, and I want to say hello to everyone and a happy late Easter, and thank you for letting me ask silly questions like this.
Okay, Pamela, thank you. And someone will get back to you to answer your question.
Enter that invite.
President Martin?
Yes,
Marion Champion's going to read a quick statement.
I'm sorry, what?
Marion Champion is
Okay.
going to read a quick statement.
All right, Marianne, go ahead.
Thank you. I just wanted to give you a quick update. Ashley Metzger from the Desert Water Agency, she wanted to send her regrets today. She had a last minute conflict come up, so she was unable to participate today. But she did want to update our board to let us know that the DWA board chose the division map that MSWD advocated for in our March letter. And she asked that we pass this information along today and also her regrets for missing today's
Oh,
meeting.
that's great. Super, thank you.
And that will conclude public comment.
All right. Human Resources Report, item 6. Arden?
All right, let me catch up with you. Well, this is always fun. We get to recognize accomplishments and anniversaries. I get the pleasure of introducing these people, and then we'll have their supervisors make a comment, and then if they want to make a statement, they can. And the first one on the list here is Mr. Adam Wagner. He's completing our water production team. They will be, Adam is joins us as a water production operator 1. He holds a certificate in water supply technology, a D2, T2, and collection system maintenance grade 1. He will be operating and maintaining valves, pumps, wells, booster stations, reservoirs, and any other facility that is related to production, while also participating in our water sampling and chlorination program. We want to ensure that the delivery of our award-winning water is safe and sound. So here to introduce Adam is our water production and maintenance 4-person, Chad Finch. And I think I did see Chad a little earlier, so I know he's here.
I am here. Yes, thank you so much for that introduction. Yes, I have Adam here. It's been a pleasure to have him just join our team, and he's been here for just about a month or so, and he's been working out great, and we look forward to seeing him continue to progress. But here he is. I'll give him an opportunity to address the board and introduce himself if you'd like to.
Well, my name's Adam Wagner, as you guys know. I appreciate the opportunity to work here. I'm having a wonderful time, and it goes along with so much that I've learned. I really enjoy this. Thank you.
Thank you, Adam. Okay. The next individual here is Alex Serrano, who also will serve on the water production team with us. He comes to us with 4 years of experience in the water industry and holds a water distribution 2 and a water treatment 1 certificate. Alex will be operating and maintaining the valves, pumps, wells, booster stations, reservoirs, and other facilities also, while participating in our sampling and chlorination program again also. And here to again introduce him is Chad, and welcome aboard, Alex. We're really glad to have you here.
Yeah, Alex has been here, I think, about a week and a half now, maybe 2 weeks. And so he's our newest hire. And so he's just learning the ropes and understanding the routes. And he's been a big help as well. It's good to have him complete our team. And so here is Alex. I'll let him say a couple words if he would like to.
Hi, I'm Alex Serrano. I'm really thankful for the opportunity. I'm really enjoying my time here. I'm learning a lot. And I'm looking forward to having hopefully a long career here. Thank you.
Thanks, Alex. We're really pleased to have you. We're upping our game, and we've got a lot of very quality people. And speaking of very quality people, our next new hire is Daniel Padilla, who's in wastewater production. He's an operator 2. He comes to us with more than 5 years of experience in the wastewater field. He holds a grade 2 wastewater treatment plant operator certificate, a grade 1 water treatment certificate, and a grade 1 water distribution certificate. In his role, Daniel will perform various wastewater treatment plant operations work while supporting the district's mission to provide, protect, and preserve our most valuable resource. I have got to meet Daniel and talk to him, and wow, what a quality individual. And I am really excited about having him become a part of our team also. So far, we've had the 3 new people today are top quality. So with that said, Lee, you want to add a few things about Daniel?
Good afternoon, President Martin, members of the board. Thank you, General Manager. Daniel actually started out with us as a temporary operator. He's contracted. He's been with us since August. He's a real good fit on the team, and it's a pleasure to have him on staff now. He's learned everything we do here, and he's looking forward to learning a lot more. So Daniel, would you like to say anything?
Yes, thank you. First and foremost, I just want to thank everybody from the board member, all the way down to Lee and Andy and everybody else that has been helping me out to learn the whole system here. I'm very thankful, and I'm pleased to be here with the MSWD team and family. And I'm just thankful. And thank you once again for this opportunity.
Thanks, Daniel, and welcome aboard. All right, next is anniversaries. We're going to honor anniversaries that total together 45 years of service with the customers we serve. And just happens to be that these people are in customer service. And two of my favorite people too, I tell you. First of all, we have Lisa Pelton, been here 19 years. She started with the district in the customer service department just before I got here, actually. She later transferred to the engineering department and then the accounting department, but ultimately she returned to us. She's wonderful in customer service. And I think she feels most connected with the community that way. And she has a great personality. Cody, her daughter, has been so much fun to have around, and we all know Cody. In fact, the entire district community team all knows Cody. And Lisa continues to be the go-to person for the other departments in the district and has built many relationships in the community. She is both a resident of Desert Hot Spring and a very, very, very valuable MSWD employee. She's also waiting for me to sign some liens. I'll get them to you, I promise, Lisa. So to say a little more about Lisa is April.
Thank you, General Manager Wallem. Good afternoon, President Martin and members of the board. Lisa has been nothing but an enjoyable and productive, efficient, dedicated employee of the district. She is knowledgeable. She is always willing to jump in and help everybody. And as General Manager Wallem stated, she is the go-to person if someone needs to know something from another department. Lisa is who kind of we all go to. She has that historical knowledge, has developed many positive relationships within the community. So thank you, Lisa, for your continued dedication. We appreciate you. And Lisa did not want to speak today. Thank you.
Well, that's the first time.
It's a little shy.
We love Lisa. So thanks. And thanks, Lisa, for that 19 years of wonderful support. Whoa, this next guy and I've had a lot of experience too together. He's been here a lot longer than me. He's the field. Don Mathene is our field operations supervisor. Don holds many certificates from the State Water Quality Control Board, Cross Connection Specialist Certification, Water Treatment Plant 2, and Water Distribution 4. And take it from me, Don knows the district like the back of his hand. He has built a relationship and served our communities for many years, and he takes great pride in the work being the steward of our water system and his team. He has this perfect personality for this job. He's the one that supervises the field crew that go out into the field and talk to these customers, and many times they're not happy. And Don handles hundreds and hundreds of them every year. He supervises and directs the work also of the crew, engaged in the activities of that department, including water meter maintenance, cross connections, and customer service. And again, I'm going to let April Scott expand a little bit more. I can't say thanks enough to Don for the many years of service that he's had with us.
Thank you, General Manager Wallem, again, and good afternoon, President Martin and members of the board again. Don is an integral part of our team. He has run the field service team for many, many years. He is efficient. He knows this district like the back of his hand. He, as you stated, he has developed relationships with people in the community. He is always there to help, assist, and do what he can to, ensure that our customers are taken care of, which is our priority on a daily basis. Don takes great pride in his team, his work, and is always willing to learn and grow as our technology grows along with our district, which is growing tremendously as well. Thank you, Don, for your continued dedication and service to the district. We appreciate you. And Don as well has declined to speak today.
Okay, he's not that shy. I know.
He's done this 25 other times.
All right.
I want to make Lisa feel bad.
All right, that concludes our HR report today. And again, the board and I genuinely appreciate each of these employees and commend them for their dedication and commitment to the customers that we serve. It takes so much effort, and these people come in every day, and it sometimes, almost every day, there's some unpleasant experience that they need to go through. And I applaud them for that. So
Let's give them applause.
Yeah. Okay, that concludes my report.
And with that, are there any directors who want to make a comment on the human resources report?
No, just thank you, all you great employees out there for helping and supporting and making MSWD a success. Thank you.
Director Gracia?
I just want to congratulate the new guys that were introduced tonight. I know it's a big day for you guys. You probably would rather be anywhere but here, but you will remember this, and hopefully I'll be still sitting here at least on one of our boards when you get your gold watch and your retirement benefit. So congratulations and welcome to the watershed.
Director Sewell?
Yeah, just a thank you to all those that were mentioned, and it's always exciting to see those years climbing up and up, and hopefully those 3 new hires that we introduced today will be where Lisa and Don are at, 20 years down the road.
And Director Duncan?
Yeah, pretty much ditto. Welcome aboard for the new hires, and congratulations and thank you to our long-term employees for their continued dedication.
Okay, I only have one comment, and looking at the human resources report, and that's Lisa Pelton, 19 years. What did she start work when she was 10 or what? Anyway, that's a really terrific group of people, a really terrific group of people. I'm glad to see that they're on our staff. Okay. Moving on to item 7, resolution 2022-05. A resolution of the Board of Directors of the Mission Springs Water District proclaiming a local emergency persists, re-ratifying the proclamation of a state of emergency by executive order and as a NORA 0921, and reauthorizing remote teleconference meetings of the legislative bodies of the Mission Springs Water District for the period of April 23rd through May 23rd. General Manager Wallum.
Nothing really to add. We need to do this as part of a program in order for us to communicate, or in order for us to allow directors to meet virtually.
Okay.
All right. That's really all I need to add.
Any comments or questions from the board?
No, but I'll make a motion.
Okay.
Make a motion to adopt resolution 2022-05.
Second.
That was a motion by Director Wright, and that was Director Sewell?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Director Sewell, have a second. A roll call vote, please.
Director Gracia,
Aye.
Director Sewell,
Yes.
Director Duncan,
Yes.
Vice President Wright,
Aye.
President Martin.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes.
All right. Moving on to the public hearing. This is a public hearing on resolution 2022-06 to collect sewer fees on the tax roll. It is recommended to adopt resolution 2022-06, electing to collect sewer fees on the tax roll under California Health and Safety Code section 5470. And I have a procedural document I have to read here. This is the time and place fixed to solicit the public's input in respect to Mission Springs Water District making the determination to collect sewer user fees on the county tax roll for the fiscal year 2022-2023. The public hearing will be declared open and staff will give their reports. I will then call for comments from the public. During this time, there will be no back and forth conversation between the public and the board and staff. All questions will be noted and will be addressed after all public comments have been received. The public hearing will then be closed and the board may have a discussion if necessary. I declare this public hearing open. Could I have the secretary's report, please?
Notice of public hearing was posted to the Desert Sun on April 1st and April 8th, 2022. As of this afternoon, there have been no comments or protests on this item.
Okay. Next is a staff report. General Manager Wallem.
Okay, I'm going to diverge a little bit from what was printed here, and that is this is an annual hearing. I'll come back to it a little bit. This does not change any sewer rates, merely the way the district collects them. This is not raising rates. The sewer charges for approximately 9,000 accounts, residential only, are proposed to be added to the annual property tax rolls and collected from the county of Riverside, along with the property taxes. These charges will be received by the district from the county annually in January and May. As such, a $65,000 labor reduction that is currently used to deal with and collect delinquent accounts will be more effectively allocated to other priorities in the district. This evolved from about a 1.5 year workshop that included the board, the staff, and the Citizens Advisory Committee, which basically recommended that we allow for the people to prepay if they want to. And almost every agency in the desert does this that way. And we get approximately 10% that do want to prepay. So with that said, that concludes my report.
Okay, thank you. Are there any members of the public online to discuss this issue or ask questions?
I did have a couple members of the public join during employee recognition, so please give me just a moment.
Okay.
Erin Rode, are you here to make public comment?
She's with the Desert Sun.
Okay. Jan Pai, welcome to the meeting. Do you care to make public comment on this item or are you just observing today?
Observing.
Thank you.
Excuse me, this is Russell Betts. I did have a question on this one, if I could.
Go ahead.
Did you say there's a 10% discount on the bill for prepaying rather to coming into the office and prepaying? And if that's true, when's the deadline for making that prepayment?
No, that's not what I said. I said
Oh,
we have about 10% of the accounts participate with this prepay option.
I'm sorry for that. You caught my attention. I misunderstood. Thank you.
No more public comment, President Martin.
All right. Any comments or questions from the board? Vice President, right? Director Grusha.
I have no questions and no comments. Thank you.
Okay. Director Sewell.
None, thank you.
Director Duncan.
No, thank you.
Okay. With that in mind, I will entertain a motion.
So
collect
moved.
sewer fees on the tax roll and to adopt a resolution 2022-06. Do I hear a motion?
I'll move the item.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion. I didn't catch who made the.
Director Sewell made the motion. Director
Randy was
Duncan,
too.
second.
Okay, can I have a roll call vote, please?
Director Grusha,
Yes.
Director Sewell,
Yes.
Director Duncan,
Yes.
Vice President Wright,
Aye.
President Martin.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes.
All right. Item 9, First Amendment to the Compressed Natural Gas Vehicle Fueling Station Licensing and CNG Sales Agreement with Clean Energy. It is recommended to authorize the general manager to execute a First Amendment to the Compressed Natural Gas Vehicle Fueling Station licensing and CNG sales agreement between Mission Springs Water District and Clean Energy for the CNG fueling station located at 14501 Park Lane, Desert Hot Springs. General Manager Wallen.
Nothing new to add from what we reported on Thursday.
Okay. Any questions or comments from the board?
I have a question.
Director Gracia.
I thought this was Sunline. Is this a DBA of Sunline or is this somebody else? Says that between the district and Clean Energy. I thought this was an agreement with Sunline Trent.
I'll let Danny. Yeah, Danny. Yes, no, this is different, and Danny can explain that.
Yeah, this is not a sub-agency. Thank you, General Manager Walden. Sorry about that. This is not a sub-agency or a sister agency. This is Clean Energy. This is who owns and operates and maintains that facility. And it's the same agreement that we had in place with them since 2011.
When it was built, was it Sunline that put it in? What?
That's not.
No, okay.
It's still Clean Energy. Yeah. I know there's some partnerships that had happened in the past, but in this case, we never partnered with Sunline. I think what you may be remembering is Director Gracia is, I'm sorry, his name is no longer with us.
Richard Cromwell.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Richard Cromwell, who represented Sunline at one time and was a big proponent for this project. And that's why maybe the Sunline, I guess, connection might be.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Director Sewell, any comments or questions?
Yeah, just out of curiosity, do we know about how much use the station receives? Is there quite a bit of traffic or?
Well, I'll let Danny answer that too, but yes, it gets a lot of traffic.
Statistically, percentage or number wise, I can't speak to. I don't have it in front of me, but as far as visually what you see, I think General Manager Walden spoke to that last week, is there is a long line. There's often buses, there's trash services, SCG vehicles, city vehicles. So it's quite busy and it stays busy. It's a fast station as far as how fast you can fill, but CNG in general is just not a fast process compared to how it is when we go to the pump as far as time-wise. So that's some of the reasons why you see a lot of people there, but it is quite busy. I just don't have the statistics for you.
Thank you.
Director Duncan, do you have any comments or questions?
No, thank you.
Okay. Anything further from our general manager?
Nothing more to add.
Okay. With that in mind, I'll entertain a motion to authorize the general manager to execute a first amendment to the compressed natural gas vehicle fueling station.
I so move.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second
it. Can we have a roll call vote, please?
Director Gracia,
Yes.
Director Sewell,
Yes.
Director Duncan,
Yes.
Vice President Wright,
Aye.
President Martin.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes.
All right. Item 10, award of contract for engineering services during construction of the Regional Water Reclamation Facility Project. It is recommended to authorize the general manager to award a contract for the engineering services during construction of the Regional Water Reclamation Facility Project to AECOM Technical Services, Inc. in the amount of $463,048. General Manager Wallen.
Nothing more than to emphasize that this is a very standard procedure, that the design engineer would also be available to provide interpretation and clarification on the design during the construction. Very necessary, very standard for this type of construction project.
Okay. Director Duncan, do you have any questions or comments?
No, thank you.
Director Sewell?
No, thank you.
Director Gracia?
No questions.
Okay. Vice President Wright?
No, thank you.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to authorize the general manager to award a contract for the engineering services so mentioned. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, motion by Director Duncan. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Director Sewell. Could I have a roll call vote, please?
Director Grusha,
Yes.
Director Sewell,
Yes.
Director Duncan,
Yes.
Vice President Wright,
Aye.
President Martin.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes.
All right. Item 11, 2021-22 new meter installation capital budget augmentation. It is recommended to authorize the general manager to increase the fiscal year 2021-22 capital budget for new meters and new service installation costs in the amount of $220,000 and augment the capital improvement job number 11709 to $390,000. General Manager Wallem.
Nothing more to add other than what we mentioned Thursday, and that this is the result of good news. People are building, and we need to purchase more meters to get our inventory.
Okay.
Inventory, that's yes.
Yes.
No, I was just going to ask, this is for inventory and you said it, so thank you. This is our inventory and then the developers buy them from us, correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Director Grusha, any comments?
No, thank you.
Director Sewell.
No, thank you.
Director Duncan.
No, sir.
I have one comment, and that was at a recent meeting I attended, there was a concern. This was a meeting of the San Antonio Pass Regional Water Alliance. There was a concern expressed by one or two agencies that there were a shortage of meters. Are we experiencing a problem obtaining meters or contracting out for meters?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody's suffering from a shortage, a supply shortage, but Brian, did you want to respond to that too?
President Martin, thank you. Members of the board, yes, that is true. We have experienced some delays to receiving our meters, and we actually are asking for larger allotments to make sure that we have them on the shelf when the development community needs them. So yes, we have been experiencing some of those for the last 18 months or so.
Okay, all right. We don't want to have perhaps sell some of our old meters to we replace to them. No, never mind. That was a joke. Okay. So with that, sorry. Okay. So with that, I'll entertain a motion to
I will approve item number 11, new meter installation.
Okay,
Budget augmentation.
do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. Could I have a roll call vote, please?
Director Grusha,
Yes.
Director Sewell,
Yes.
Director Duncan,
Yes.
Vice President Wright,
Aye.
President Martin.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Okay, item under discussion items, item 12, Mission Springs Water District Regional Water Reclamation Facility update.
We did delay last Thursday because Steve was gone, and I asked, and I haven't seen him on the screen here, but I know that he is here today. So Steve, do you want to take it from here?
Certainly. Thank you, General Manager Wallem. Good afternoon, President Martin and directors. I'll give you an update today on the Regional Water Reclamation Facility. So the project construction management team continued working through the pre-construction administration items, including processing submittals and RFIs, gearing up towards construction. There's a lot of long lead items, as you can imagine, with the supply chain delays, some that were just mentioned regarding something as simple as valves and meters. So we're working through a lot of those items now ahead of time so that we can get all that equipment procured and ready to install as it comes up during the construction process. In addition, the biologists completed the pre-construction biological surveys. They did two separate surveys. They went out and surveyed for the presence of burrowing owl or desert tortoise, and none were found on site. In addition, they completed a bird nesting survey. They did find one bird nest. It was an unoccupied bird nest, but there were birds in the area. So that area was cordoned off. I think it's a 100-foot radius around that bird nest that can't be touched until those birds leave. But we lucked out with that one, frankly, because that location is between both the main construction site for the treatment plant and the spreading pond area. So it won't impact the construction in any way at this time. Construction began on the regional plant on April 4th. They being JFJ, they have been working on setting up the construction yard, bringing out the construction trailers, establishing their temporary water source, as well as they've brought out their construction trailers. So all that work's been happening over the last couple of weeks. They started pre-watering the site last week and through this week to cut down on any dust. They've gone in and kind of cleared out the site, cleared out any brush from the site. And again, they're pre-watering this week in preparation for mass grading, which starts next week. They'll be doing some kind of temporary grading this week just to make sure that their dust control measures are going to be effective and keep dust down at the project site and stay in compliance with their PM10 plan. So that's what's going on right now. In addition, we had a separate contract with Yellow Jacket Drilling Services to install the 3 monitoring wells required for the project. I'm happy to report as of Friday, Yellow Jacket has completed 2 of the 3 required monitoring wells. So those wells have been drilled, equipped, and the monument at the surface and bollards protecting it, kind of a concrete pad, that's all been constructed and completed. They still are coming back out next week to finish the development of the wells and bailing of the wells and install the pumping equipment so that they can pull samples. So we should be ready to start pulling samples to begin collecting background water quality data at the site next month. We're still working on acquiring additional right-of-way on 20th Avenue east of the project site for the 3rd required monitoring well. I do need to note that when we originally submitted our monitoring well work plan to the regional board, they approved an alternate location for this second monitoring well, as we refer to it. We requested approval to construct that alternate location because we were unsuccessful in obtaining right-of-way or verifying roadway easements along 20th. The regional board came back and said, no, we want that well further downstream. And they're going to allow us additional time to go secure that right-of-way and construct that well. So we're working through that process now. We've already restarted that process to reach out to the property owners to acquire that right-of-way downstream. We had a positive meeting with the city about 3 or 4 weeks ago regarding development activity in that area with city staff. And we're working on getting those contact information so that we can reach out directly to the developers for said parcels to secure that right-of-way for that 3rd monitoring well. Any questions so far?
Any questions from the board? Vice President Wright? Director Grusha? Any questions?
No questions. Thank you.
Director Sewell, any questions?
None so far. I just had a question on hopefully the funding, but I'm sure you're about to get to that, hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay, Director Duncan.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
All right, I'll keep going. So in addition, at that meeting I mentioned with city staff, we received direction on the final parcel map establishing the roadway widths in and around the treatment plant and the district solar facility in the area. So that was good news. We're working on the final details for that, and we'll be resubmitting it back to the city for planning commission approval. In addition, we had a kickoff meeting with West Yost last week to begin the TDS impact evaluation work plan. That's a requirement of the district's waste discharge requirement permit with the regional board. So what West Yost is going to be doing is evaluating what the background TDS water quality is, potential sources for increasing TDS, and how we're going to track those and potentially mitigate those with our treatment plant or surrounding our treatment plant to protect the water quality of the Garnet Hill sub area. So I'm happy to report that work has begun. The SRF and grant funding, we continue to meet with the state board weekly. As I reported last month in March, the state board authorized additional infrastructure appropriations fundings. So right now, The staff management level at the state board is reviewing kind of the final slate of projects, the way I understand it, and the district project, the regional project, is included in that final slate of funding. So it's going through the management level for approval, and once that gets approval, we should hear some information back from the state, and it'll be going back up to, I don't know if it requires an additional approval by the state board or not, but that's the process that we're in right now. So staff level has approved funding or recommended funding for a certain handful of projects, and that's now with management, and our project is included in that discussion or in that slate of projects to receive this additional infrastructure appropriation funding. That's it for the main treatment plant site. Regarding the conveyance line that's going to bring the flows over and down to deliver flows to the treatment plant. We're still working with Edison through their easement process, crossing that big transmission corridor on Little Morongo Road. Staff completed the 95% design plan check and sent comments back to the design consultant to finalize the design so that that project can go out to bid. In addition, the Area M2 sewer collection system, we completed a kickoff meeting with the consultant AECom to complete the redesign of that work. Again, that area was already designed as part of the septic to sewer program back in 2009. It was URS at the time that completed that work. That firm had since been bought out by AECom. So we have the same project team under the AECom umbrella working to update that plan set and get it finalized and up to date with current design standards so it can go back out to bid. And that's all I have to report on today, and I'm happy to answer questions.
Any questions from the board? Yes, Vice
Steve,
President.
would you tell everybody what the state board has already approved for the funding for the plant?
Sure. So the state board has already approved $8 million out of the groundwater grant program and an additional $8 million out of the small community wastewater program. We were slated to receive the rest of the project funding through an SRF grant. That's what our application originally stated. Since then, in August of 2021, the state board passed additional infrastructure appropriations funding, and they have a focus, on septic to sewer projects and wastewater projects, specifically septic to sewer. So understanding that this treatment plant is being built as a result of the district's success with septic to sewer projects, and it's needed to complete the remaining septic to sewer areas, that really has brought our project to closer to the front of the line to receive this additional infrastructure appropriations. And we're still being considered under that, in addition to the 16 million, we're still being considered with the delta to come from this infrastructure appropriations grant.
And the loan?
The loan that will be determined based on how much additional infrastructure appropriations funding that the district receives. That loan could be zero, or that loan could be some other amount. But
interest rate still at 0.9?
No, the interest rates have gone up, but I think they're still in the low 1% range from what the state board told me 2 weeks ago.
Oh, that's good interest rate. Okay, thanks.
Okay, any other questions from the board? Okay. Hearing none, we'll move ahead to item 13, Critical Services Center and Administrative Building Update. General Manager Wallen.
I don't believe we have anything additional to add from what we reported on Thursday.
Okay, all right. Okay, moving on to the consent agenda. First on the consent agenda is the approval of minutes from March 3rd, 2022. That was a special meeting workshop. March 9th, 2022, a closed session. March 17th, 2022, study session. And March 21st, 2022, board meeting. Are there any corrections or additions on the minutes? Okay. On the register of demands, everybody had a chance to take a look at the packet on there. Are there any questions or comments on the register of demands? Okay. Seeing none, I will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as posted.
I will approve the consent agenda with the March 8th meeting that's on there, the closed session meeting. The change would be March 9th. think we mentioned that at Thursday meeting, so my motion will include that.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Could I have a roll call vote, please?
Director Gracia,
Yes.
Director Sewell,
Yes.
Director Duncan,
Yes.
Vice President Wright,
Aye.
President Martin.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Okay. Moving on to correspondence, item 16, a thank you letter from a Heart to Heart team. Any comments or questions concerning the thank you letter? It's really nice to get these thank you letters from people that take the time to reach out to us with their comments. Very nice.
It was a wonderful evening, organized really well, did a great job. The Rotary did. Thank you, Ivan. I know you worked hard on it, but it was a nice community get together.
Okay. And item 17, a thank you card from Mission Lakes Country Club. Any comments or questions regarding that? Okay. Seeing none, we'll move on to director's report. Did anybody who didn't go, who needs to go today?
I need to go today.
I'm sorry, who? Ivan? Yeah, Director Sewell, go ahead.
Okay. March 2nd, attended Greater Coachella Valley Chamber of Commerce mixer at Cabot's Museum. I thought it was a really good turnout. It was a morning mixer, and there was still quite a few people from the east side of the valley. So it was good to see some people coming up into Desert Hot Springs for a mixer. I did speak with the Chamber's new CEO, Emily Palapina. She seems really dedicated and working hard to increase participation up here in Desert Hot Springs for the Chamber. She's working with the city to get a full-time office and hoping to get more Desert Hot Springs members. So I'm looking forward to that. And then March 24th, I attended the Water 101 presentation we did at the Desert Hot Springs Library. And I just wanted to say thank you to all the staff that helped put that together. I thought that had a great turnout as well. And I really liked the format and how, there was different presenters. It wasn't just our wonderful general manager speaking the entire time. So I'm looking forward to the next one, and hopefully we can continue these educational forums for years to come. So thank you.
Okay. Director Duncan, did you have any reports you want to make today?
No, I did that Thursday.
Okay. And Director Gracia, any update on the meetings you attended?
No change.
Okay, all right. Mine's kind of lengthy, so bear with me. On March 1st, attended the city council meeting. They had public hearing number 2 concerning the transition from at-large to district elections. On March 2nd, Greater Coachella Valley Chamber of Commerce had a morning breakfast at Cabot's Museum. It was an excellent turnout, and that was really quite an awesome event. On March 10th, Building Industry Association Government Affairs Lunch. Nothing to report there. On March 15th, City Council meeting. There was a discussion on what is called the Ovation Project development, which was previously known as Marbella Development, which it is 402 condominiums planned next to Skies Haven. Also, there was a discussion concerning increased lighting proposed for Mission Springs Park to accommodate night sporting events. I believe the estimated cost was $730,000, and it seemed a little high for lighting, but there may be other things involved with that I missed. On March 23rd, San Gorgonio Pass Water Alliance meeting. I've already mentioned that they had several members experiencing water meter shortage. On March 29th, Riverside County Board of Supervisors meeting. They had a presentation on National Vietnam Veterans Day. There was also public comments that were divided on short-term rental And then there's always comments on by anti-vaxxers as well. There was a presentation on departmental systems improvements for protection of vulnerable children and adults. And there was an election advisory committee proposals report. And they had a couple of public hearings that I won't go into with that. On March 30th, Special Districts Association of Riverside County, presentation by District Attorney Michael Hestron on the fentanyl crisis in Southern California. You heard from Vice President Wright on that already. On March 3rd, Desert Valley Builders Legislative Forum, Agua Caliente Cultural Center will be open in the fall. Looking forward to that. March 16th, the Women's Club fundraiser. Awesome event. Thank you, Nancy, for bringing that to our attention. And March 17th, Desert Valley Builders Association Networking Night. We're celebrating St. Patrick's Day. Nothing to report there. March 25th, Palm Springs Air Museum fundraising dinner. That was an awesome event. That's quite a, if anybody has not gone to the Palm Springs Air Museum, I highly recommend it. It's one of the most amazing museums that I've ever been to. March 26th, Desert Hot Springs Little League opening day. I participated with Vice President Wright. It's always fun to get out there and participate in that. On March 31st, Desert Hot Springs Rotary Big Heart Awards. And congratulations to Dory Petit, who was the Mission Springs Water District Person of the Year. That's an awesome honor. Also attended on the 31st, the Senior Inspiration Awards. The recipient from Desert Hot Springs is Donna Lozano. She is a good friend and very active in the Desert Hot Springs. She sat on the Public Safety Commission for a number of years. And that concludes my report. So moving on to item 19, General Manager's report.
Nothing new to add from Thursday.
All right, moving on to Director's comments. Excuse me, I'm sorry, go on to District Council comments first.
There won't be a closed session today.
There will not.
There will not.
There will not, okay. Director's comments. First, Steve Grasha, Director Grasha.
I'll reserve my comments till the end of the comments section.
Well, this is a time for you to go. I will not be revisiting it, so you go ahead now or save it for the next meeting. Okay, hearing none. Director Sewell, any comments?
Yes, I just wanted to apologize for missing last week's meeting, but did want to thank staff. I'm sure it's mostly Kurt, but anyone else that works to record these meetings and put them up on YouTube. I was able to watch it and get caught up before this meeting, so thank you.
Okay. Vice President Wright.
No, I don't have anything to say. I hope everybody had a happy weekend, a happy Easter weekend, but that traffic out there, oh my goodness, the I-10 is just jam-packed this morning. It's bumper to bumper.
Yes, Director Duncan.
Yeah, like Ivan said, I got to apologize. Last week I said I would be in today to give my comments. We spent the weekend up in Havasu. Fortunately, we came back through 29 Palms, so I didn't have all that traffic, but I got up this morning with a scratchy throat and I decided maybe I better not come into the district with that going on. We've got a couple of different topics I want to cover for different reasons, and I'll tie them all together at the end. Diane and I lived in a very visible house, which I call the Fishbowl, on Mission Lakes Boulevard, West Drive, for better than 30 years, almost 33 years. And so we sold that house decided to build a house. Long story short, found a perfect property we wanted to build on. After a lengthy escrow that fell apart, seller couldn't deliver title. So we actually expanded our search all over the valley. But this past weekend, our original pick is back on the table again. So hopefully that'll go through this time and we'll be able to build a new house well within my district. The reason I say that, it's not a big deal. A lot of people buy and sell homes, build homes, flip them, whatever they want to do. Steve Grosser, who conveniently turned his camera off, and Russell Betts have both pulled a Freedom of Information Act looking for my address for some reason. You know what? We lived in a fishbowl for 33, 34 years. Been on the board 15 years. People know how to get a hold of me. People know how to call me. One of Steve Grosh's comments on his request for info was that people are calling him because they're concerned about me or concerned about the district or whatever reason. Nobody's bothered to call me. Nobody's bothered to call the board president, the vice president who's been on the board for 30 years. Nobody's called the district or the general manager. Instead, they all gravitate to the least tenured director on the board, shortest time. So just want to cut off any rumors that get started before they get out and hit the streets. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay. And I have no Director. Oh, I do want to make one comment, and that is my condolences to Director Sewell and his wife Brianna over the loss of her father. Would you please extend our sympathies to your wife? And I was sorry to hear that happen at any time, but especially when most people are celebrating on Easter. That's a real adds to the tragedy. So our hearts go out to both of you. So other than that, that concludes my reports. There will be no closed session today, so that concludes our meeting.